You know how the drill works already. Stupid guy doing F1 stuff. Anyway, quick one on Monday. What did we learn from the Catalan Grand Prix? Number one, fuel temperature is being an issue this season. For example, in Miami, Aston Martin started from the pit lane because of this. According to the standard or the rules of the F1, you can only make the temperature of the fuel 10 degrees lower than what the actual environmental temperature is. What does this mean? That if the temperature, for example, in Barcelona yesterday it was 30 degrees, you can make the fuel up to 20 degrees minimum. Why do teams like to have lower temperature fuels? Because it works better, because of the properties and everything. However, there is a risk, as it happened yesterday, for example, with Max Verstappen. Verstappen was coming out of the pits to the grid very, very late because the fuel temperature of his car was too low, a little bit too low. The team was trying to make it the right temperature. This is one of the issues that apparently this season could be interesting to observe, as many or different teams are having the same issue. Second one, Ferrari has reliability issues too. Red Bull, we saw they were abandoning the first races. Verstappen had a couple of zeros, and it was time about Ferrari had some zeros as well. Leclerc had some issue with the power unit yesterday, lost some turbo power, and got out. Got a DNF, got a zero in the score, and now he's second in the championship. What does this mean? Both Red Bull and Ferrari are having reliability issues. This, if they don't take care of it, can be a championship deciding issue. I said issue, issue. Red Bull applied team orders. I have been saying this for several races already, and people did not agree with me. Checo Perez is there to be a number two driver for Red Bull and for Max Verstappen. That's why they hired him, and that's why he's still there, because he is taking team orders without any hesitation. Yesterday in Barcelona, for example, in this image right here, you can see Max Verstappen at the moment of overtaking Perez for P1 in the race. What does this mean? That all the points that were supposed to be taking off each other, like it was apparent in the first races, when, for example, Perez in Jeddah was trying to battle for the win of the race while Verstappen was not so strong, it's over. Game over for Perez. Verstappen is number one leader. All the points are for him. And Ferrari, if they are not very careful, they are going to lose the championship positions, options, and everything very, very quick. They still didn't get the position or the stand of supporting only one driver, which in theory should be quite clear now that it has to be Charles Leclerc, based on, for example, Carlos Sainz's horrible Grand Prix in Spain. If they don't decide and support 100% Charles Leclerc, and they keep battling, Sainz didn't battle with Charles Leclerc so far, but if they really have the chance to be battling with each other and they start taking points off each other, Verstappen is going to be very happy. This cannot be afforded. This should be avoided. And I hope Ferrari will do something very quick, or bye-bye championship. Let's remember, the last Ferrari champion is 2007 Kimi Raikkonen. Number 4, what did we learn? Mercedes are getting back in the fight. They apparently fixed the issue with the porpoising. They were all able to lower the car. Lowering the car means much better car performance. As you can see, George Russell was battling with both Red Bulls. At the beginning, Perez, even with the DRS, was not able to overtake the Mercedes, which means Mercedes are quick on the straights. And then Verstappen, without the DRS, not even close of getting a chance of overtaking George Russell. And Hamilton, by the way, was faster than Russell. He was not fighting with the Red Bulls, of course. He had other objectives. He was more straight to the point. If he had been in the front of the grid, we don't know what would have what would have happened. Could have he be battling for the victory? If Leclerc didn't have that DNF, probably not. Could have him been battling with Verstappen, for example? Most probably not, because he would have been in the fight. Or maybe with Mercedes had two cars like Red Bull did, they could have played the cards in a different way and sacrifice Russell for Hamilton to win, or sacrifice Hamilton for Russell to win. The thing is that Mercedes are starting to push already. The car is starting to work. Now they can understand, they can analyze, they can do all these things that they should have done many races ago. And let's see if Mercedes are starting to push ahead. In the qualifying, they were not so quick. In the race, however, they were one of the quickest of the race, behind Leclerc, of course. However, I would like to also analyze how, well, I said Hamilton was quicker than Russell. If you can see in the second lap, where is my mouse? Here, second lap, where he had to pit for the puncture. He put softs from mediums to softs, and he was 38.6 seconds behind Latifi in 18th position. Hamilton was in 19th position and was 54-ish seconds from Leclerc. Lap 8, more than 1 minute behind from Leclerc. What does this mean? With the soft, Hamilton was not being so fast, also heavy load. Lap 22, second stop, he puts the medium 1 minute and 7 behind Leclerc. Lap 27, Charles Leclerc already out of the race. Russell is a new leader, and behind Russell 1 minute and 2 seconds. And this is when things start to get interesting for Hamilton. He had like 9 laps fresher tires than the people in front of him. And when I say people in front of him, I mean the 3 that were battling for the victory: Russell, Verstappen, and Perez. So he was lapping like 1 second faster than Russell and the 2 Red Bulls at times. In that battle, they were losing a ton of time. So Hamilton started getting faster and faster. Perez overtook finally George Russell as Verstappen went to the pits. He got the DRS and he passed. And he was 56.2 seconds behind Perez. In lap 48, the third pit stops, he put softs again to try to attack Sainz and Valtteri Bottas. He was 51.6 seconds behind Verstappen. Before the pit, he was 30 seconds behind. Lap 60, he was 39 seconds behind Verstappen. So he was quick. He was going faster than these people in front of him. And before he had the mechanical issue, actually, he was getting quicker and taking time off Verstappen, like could have been already not been pushing, since Red Bull had everything under control, especially seeing how Russell is really, really behind. What does this mean? That the race pace of the Mercedes is strong. Russell, perhaps had he not been fighting with the Red Bulls, could have been also as fast as Hamilton. Maybe faster, maybe not. We don't know. But looks like now Mercedes are fast enough. This is the strategy for the race. You can see, for example, Leclerc was the only one that had fresh soft tires. You can see here the legend of the picture. Verstappen 1, 2, 3 stops. Perez 1, 2, 3 stops. Hamilton 1, 2, 3. So imagine if Hamilton started in softs. Oh, sorry, Hamilton didn't have this accident in the beginning and he went medium, medium, soft. You can see that here the first 3 had to adjust the strategy to try to, the 2 Red Bulls to overtake Russell, and Russell to try to, for example, here get the fastest lap, which he didn't because Red Bull reacted after that, right? But you can see the strategies. Nobody, oh, here it is, Magnussen put the hard tire and didn't work at all for him. So most of them went for mediums and softs. I'm surprised that nobody, for example, Hamilton didn't try to put the hard tire and go all the way to the end, or one of the Red Bulls, for example, since it's a very abrasive asphalt and you lose almost 20 seconds in the pit. Nobody thought about it. Obviously, it's much faster to go with the other tires, and the tires were lasting quite long. So that's the analysis. Monaco, however, we will see softer tires than this one. and it's gonna be more or less the same thing. Probably one stoppers anyway. Alfa Romeo are there to stay. Everybody thought that Alfa Romeo made this design thanks to Ferrari, the engine and everything is helping because Haas and Alfa Romeo were in the back last year. This year they are at the front. Now that everybody brought updates to Spain, people were not thinking that perhaps Alfa Romeo was gonna endure the push of likes of Mercedes, which already is in front of them, or for example Alpine. Alpine is kind of a disappointment so far, and there are rumors with Alonso and Alpine. I will talk in another day for the silly season, another episode. But yeah, the Alpha Tauris, the McLarens, all of them are not as fast as Alfa Romeo, or at least the Alfa Romeo of Bottas. Zhou Guanyu is still the rookie, might take some races to get used to it. However, yeah, Alfa Romeo is a very surprised that they are still holding on to their place in the grid, considering that there are 6 cars in front of them. They are P7 right now, so big surprise and very good. And surprise number 6, or interesting thing, fact number 6 of the weekend, the racetrack, all the new F1 cars. This racetrack, I qualified it as the first of the boring 3. Barcelona, Monaco and Hungaroring, as well as Abu Dhabi, but that's a different story. It's very difficult to overtake here. Without the DRS, you could see Verstappen was not even close to being able to overtake Russell, and he was much faster than Russell. You could see after he overtook him how much faster he was. However, there were many overtakes yesterday. There was a good battle, thanks to some mistakes as well, like Verstappen, like Hamilton's accident in the beginning. It was not that boring of a Grand Prix, but of course, also because that happened. Alonso started from the back, so he had to overtake. Hamilton was at the back, so he had to push. Verstappen made a mistake. Perez qualified badly. Sainz made a mistake. So there was something happening, but because of something happened at the start of the race, if we hadn't had that, I don't know if it was gonna be such a overtake easy race. However, it was a big surprise. Don't know if it's because of the cars, for sure not because of the racetrack, because of the accidents. So we are not gonna be able to see this in Monaco, but perhaps in Hungaroring we can see something different as well. However, Hungaroring, let's not forget, there is only 1 point of overtaking, so that's why they call him the boring 3. Here there's 1 point of overtaking, in Monaco there is none, and in Hungaroring there's only 1. However, big surprise, good race, the first good race in a long time. Maybe the last good race in this racetrack was when Maldonado won. So yeah, as always, take it easy. I will make an episode as well for the silly season because there are things moving, and see you for the Monaco Grand Prix.